Hey everybody, Z Garcia here. Today I'm taking a look at a two-player kids game themed on dinosaurs. This is the sequel to Jurassic Snack, Jurassic Brunch. Jurassic Brunch here is very similar to Jurassic Snack. If you are familiar with that game, you pretty much know how to play this game already, except for a couple of minor little things, and the fact that most of the tiles that you are foraging with your little dinos are going to have new abilities. So again, this is a game for two players only, and in it you are going to have your own group of dinos. They are going to be moving around the board, eating different tiles, getting victory points for that, and avoiding a raptor that might show up and scare your little dinos away. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at it. I'm going to show you on the table what this looks like, how it plays, and I'm going to see you on the other side. Here we've got the game set up and ready to go. You'll position these boards in whatever configuration you want, as long as you can move from one to another one. None of them are isolated. And then you will put the dinos in the corresponding starting spots, populate all the other spaces with these tokens, the food tokens, grass tokens. Everybody has one dino left, and the bluish-green player over here is going to go first. On their turn, they're going to take one action on their very first turn. And then everybody takes two actions going back and forth until the game is over. That happens when all of these tokens are taken and you score based on what's on the front of them. Highest score wins. Or someone is fully eliminated from the board by having their dino scared away by this cute little raptor over here. Or there's a rare case that players will have two turns in a row in which neither one takes any of these tiles. That also will trigger the end of the game. So there we go. So the green player over here is going to go, and they're going to go over here, and they are going to take this one. It is called the Yummy token, and it simply has two victory points on it, so two of those leaves, and it has no other effect. You want to have this handy, by the way, for all of the special abilities. And then the yellow player will go, will take two turns in a row, right? Two actions. So they might move this one here, let's say. When you do that, okay, this one is for the baby dino. So you're going to get a new baby dino anywhere that is empty. So they might put it there, let's say. By the way, when you will move in a straight line until you hit something. And if that something is one of these grass tokens, then they are going to replace it and you take that tile. So I have another action. Yellow has two actions, and everybody has two actions from here on out. And they can move the same dino or a different one. So I might move this one, for example. Move in here, take over, replace that. Oh, okay, so the dino has fallen asleep. And this one is the, they call it the stodgy grass. It needs some rest to digest. So you take that, it's worth 3 points. But this dino is going to bloop, fall asleep. And you want to lay it down on its side like that. And then it'll be the green player's go again. On your turn, you have a few actions. You've seen me do one, okay? You've seen me do the move peacefully in a straight line and consume whatever's in your way. The other options are, you can, for one action, wake up a dino, get it ready to move again, otherwise it cannot move. You can charge at a dino, and that is, let's say if this dino was here, I could charge at this one, or any dino, and then you take over its spot, and you can put it anywhere you want. So you can send it somewhere else on the board. You can do that to the raptor as well when he shows up, if he shows up. And then the other option is just moving the raptor itself. When you move the raptor, you can only do that with one of your actions on your turn, and he can move in any direction. So he can go orthogonally as normal for all the other ones, but he can also move diagonally. He's going to move until he hits something again. And if it's one of the critters, then it gets scared away, removed from the board, and set into your pool. So we've got the green player again. Green's going to go here, let's say, reveal that. Oh, that's going to bring out the raptor. So this one's scared away. Raptor shows up right there, and this is worth 3 points. And then for the second action, the raptor's going to move into this space and scare that dino away. There we go. Back to yellow. Now again, you can only spend one of your two actions. There's a way you get more actions, but one of your turn actions to move the raptor, so you have to be mindful of that. But you could, if you wanted to put some pressure on the opponent, the yellow player could run at this one. So again, attack it and then send it flying. It can land anywhere you want it to, like here, and then have the raptor lock its target and scare that one away. So now this player has to be really careful about keeping these two, hopefully finding some of those tokens that let them bring new ones into play so that they are not eliminated from the game. Now, there's only one of these raptor tiles. I happened to find it early, but it could the game could play very differently based on when you find that tile. You find it early, it's going to be a very different feel that if you don't find it, till much later in the game. So that's basically it. Now let's talk about some of these tiles that haven't come up yet, okay? So we've seen the new babies over here. We've got this one, which is the hideout. When you get that, it's worth only 1 point. But you get to hide other tiles underneath it, and they cannot be stolen. What do I mean by stolen? Well, this one over here, this flower, lets you trade that flower token when you get it with one from the opponent randomly. Just not one of the ones hidden under this hideout. Over here, you saw that one, and you saw that one. This one over here, the super yummy, lets you discard that. It's worth 1 point, but you can get rid of it to take an extra action. And then the yummy, which is the most populous token on the board. And that's basically it. Now, besides that, you can combine this game with Jurassic Snack if you have it. You would combine all of the tiles, you combine all of the grass tokens there, and you play in teams. You can play 1 versus 1, and you just basically are running 2 teams, but you can play 2 versus 2. One player is going to be these characters, so it'll be like a yellow team and a blue team. So one player plays the Diplos from the original game, which are these cute little guys right here. Let me bring them out and show you. Again, these are not in Jurassic Brunch. These are from Jurassic Snack. So one team will be made up of these, and one team will be made up, of course, of these two. So the bluish team, the yellowish team. And you'll take turns back and forth. So the Diplo player will have a turn, and then their partner will have a turn. I'm sorry, it's Diplo. And then these little guys, which are, why am I forgetting what they're called? Triceratops, that's it. Triceratopses. So Diplo in blue, Diplo in yellow, and then Triceratops in blue, Triceratops in yellow, back and forth until the game is over, and then you add up your scores if you're on the same team. So there you go. That is how Jurassic Brunch works. Let's go ahead and go back up top. Let me tell you what I think of it, which one of the two I might recommend, and if I think it's a good idea to get both. All right, here we go. Alright, so let's dive right into it, shall we? I'm going to start right at the top with the theme for Jurassic Brunch here. I think it is fantastic. It's adorable, very engaging. It's quite cute. It can be a little bit of a mean game, so be aware of that. And whenever possible, I'm going to compare this to Jurassic Snack, just in case you happen to be familiar with that one. If not, that's okay. But I would say that this is possibly even a little bit meaner than the original one. In that one, you were sending T-Rexes after your opponent's Diplos. Well, in this one, there's going to be some of that with the Raptor going after the Triceratopses, but then there's also the stealing of vegetation tiles, right? So there's a little bit more confrontation, if you would. It's very soft confrontation. I don't think it's going to be upsetting, but it's there. The aesthetics are lovely. These dinos are just the cutest thing. Pre-painted, adorable, well-made. I do like these, the Triceratops mini, the figure. I do like them more than the Diplos. The Diplos are very cute from the original game Jurassic Snack. My only issue is, well, the box. I'm not a big fan of this style of box that has a window. I think this helps sell, right? I mean, you can see through them, see the dinos in there. And then when you pop this open, then you've got a compartment there for the rest of the stuff. But you got to pop these out of there to use them, okay? Those are part of the game. What I ended up doing was just pulling all this out, and you can, if you have both, this box is big enough to now keep both games in there. But then you are going to have, of course, the plastic window is still here. So, that's, what can you do, right? There's no way around that. You're gonna see through there the rule book, or maybe a baggie with all your dinos or some tiles or something. So I get why this is here, but I don't personally like that very much. Still, not a big deal. The rest of the box is quite sturdy. Just maybe be careful with that window and don't put something sharp or whatever on top of it. Other than that, like I said, everything is very nice. I do wish the Raptor was a little more stable. He's because of the way his little feet are sculpted, he's a little wobblier than all of the other dinos in the entire game and the prequel, the Jurassic Snack. All right, replay value is okay. Much like the original game, if you play this a lot, if you have a 8-year-old, 10-year-old, and they end up getting really into it and playing it a lot, you'll get sick of it, I think. The replayability, you will go through all the tiles, basically every game. The mental stimulation that comes from it is not tremendous, so I think the replayability is not that high. But if it comes out every now and then, you're going to have a good time with this one. It'll stay fresh that way. Okay, game arc. This one's interesting because it can be quite different based on a couple of different things. If the thieving tiles come out early, those flowers, if they come out before the hiding tiles, those cave tiles, if the raptor comes out early versus much later in the game, it'll have a very different feel, So that's neat. I like that it feels a little bit more branching than the original game. But because you cannot count on the raptor showing up as reliably as you could count on a T-Rex showing up in the original game, that also means that there's a bigger chance for the game arc to be a little bit flat, where you are just moving, take a tile, 2 points or 3 points, okay, and then do it again. And then the other player moving, couple tiles. And so it can be a little monotonous if something whiz-bang doesn't happen in the first half of the game or so, okay? So be aware of that. Ease of play, very simple. Couple of new actions here, so there is a little bit more than the original Jurassic Snack, but it's extremely easy to comprehend. Rulebook is very nice, so no issue there. And then lastly, tactics, luck, and strategy. Yes, this game is certainly very lucky. I would not necessarily say it's any luckier than the original one, really, because for every crazier thing, like having a tile stolen, there is sort of a response. You can hide it, you can... The Raptor, there's only one, but he's got more mobility than the T-Rexes did. So it's for every, response, there's sort of a counteraction for that. And I like it. But yes, it's very lucky. This is a 15-minute game for ages 7 and up, so be aware of that. That's the kind of game this is. I think it's a lovely game, and I think kids who love dinosaurs, anywhere between, again, 7 and, 12, are going to really like this one, but it's lucky. All right, so a couple of final things I want to answer. If you're only picking one, if you don't have either one of these and you only want one of them, which one do you go for? Well, they're very similar, okay? And in fact, I'm going to be rating them the same thing. They are very similar. I think Jurassic Brunch here plays with a little more room, all right? There are opportunities for higher highs and lower lows in this one. One thing, for example, okay, I'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about, that I like in this one over the original one is the score. If you take all of the tiles and you add up the number of little leaves on the original one, there's a total of 44. This one has a total of 48. What's that mean? It just means that you're less likely to end up so close that it's a tie, okay? Or that you're very you got 21, I got 23, or what have you. So I like that. I think that's a good idea. It makes that stealing a little more tense, it's more engaging, and so just a higher score possibility I like. The scoring is very tight in this one. Now, so again, I would say, if you have to make up your mind, I think Jurassic Brunch is a little more fun, perhaps. Now, if you are interested in this and are thinking of maybe picking up more than one, who do I recommend that to? Well, if you have one already and just love it, then the other one is going to be very similar if you want to change the flavor every now and then. So that'll be a good way. But if you have 3 kids or 4 kids who are into the original one or just really like dinos, then I would certainly recommend picking up both. They can be folded right into each other. You can play both at the same time. And then the players will be on team. So that also lends itself to a nice atmosphere where you can, help each other out. When you walk into a tile that has the little egg for birthing a new dinosaur, you can give it to your partner instead of taking one yourself. Like if they're down on dinosaurs, you can give them one of theirs. It's nice. There's a couple of things like that where you have a little cooperation. Only the player with the Diplos can move the T-Rexes. Only the player with the Triceratops pieces can move the Raptor. So you still feel like only you can do certain things. Okay? So there you go. Cute Kids game. I'm going to rate this one a 7 out of 10. That means it's going to get a seal of approval because I do think it is extremely well finalized, extremely well sculpted, cute, easy to play, enjoyable game. Makes for a great gift, if you have kids, again, in your family or a friend has kids who love dinos. This is going to be a really good gift. So that's going to do it for me. My name is Z Garcia, everybody. I'm going to see you on the next one.